So I was actually very surprised. I thought this episode would be very boring, but everything about this episode is what I've been preaching this whole time I started doing Dragon Ball videos on my channel. Sometimes Super has a tendency to, quote, piss off fans because they feel that it's not entertaining enough or it's not flashy enough. Well, take note, people, this is a real Dragon Ball episode, which is why you will hear me reiterating this all over again and again and again, because I don't think it's stressed enough. And a lot of fans in Dragon Ball seem to forget how the series used to be a long time ago. Everybody focuses too much on Z, and yet they forget the series that came before that. This brings me back to classic Dragon Ball, and I say this because many references are portrayed in this episode. We have the Invisible Man, who Yamcha fought, and by the way, was the only person he ever beat in any kind of tournament because Master Roshi accidentally shot blood on him. And Master Roshi even suggested to Gohan, why don't you spray blood on him or anything that would allow them to see him. And the reason for Master Roshi spilling blood on that Invisible Man when Yamcha was fighting that one particular person is because Krillin had this brilliant idea and he pulled down Bulma's shirt in classic Dragon Ball. So that's why blood ended up being spilled on this Invisible Man. And despite Piccolo being eliminated, I mean, obviously I'm not happy with that. I feel that there could have been a lot more to using Piccolo as to have him just kind of go all out and, you know, you've done your part for the day. But despite that, he showed a lot of different sort of skills. I haven't seen, you know, the moves in this episode for a very long time. A lot of the moves here, we might have seen it once or twice in previous series, and it seems like the issue with Piccolo is they always give him that one move, and I don't even have to say that move to insinuate which one it is. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what I'm referring to. But nevertheless, I like seeing everything that Piccolo had to offer. It just shows as to why, you know, him having a power-up in this series makes sense, because that's just how Piccolo is. He might not be the strongest, but he sure as hell will always improve, given enough time. And to reiterate on Piccolo's abilities once again, not only is he fused with Nail, you know, the strongest Namek agent from his homeworld that we knew of, he's also fused with Kami-sama, who had such wisdom and intellect. And I'm glad that this episode kind of showed a little bit of those traits, because a lot of people will seem to forget that and they like to focus on how strong Piccolo is. But to me, Piccolo has always been intellectual, and even more so because of who he's fused with right now. Goku isn't even taking this seriously as soon as he sees who was this invisible attacker, which wasn't even invisible at all to begin with. You know, he's trying to catch this bug man, and he's trying to have fun, and Goku just smashing the ground, and 17 just stops what he's doing, and he just immediately thinks of a plan in a matter of minutes. Less even. And it, you know, I like the interactions between all these different characters, because when will we ever see anything like this, if not now? I mean, you have Piccolo stepping for 18. You have 17 and Goku constantly stepping in for each other. They pretty much became best friends essentially at this point. You know, hopefully we see more of this in the future. So, in regards to Universe 4 being eliminated, it was a nice touch, because I immediately had figured out that their remaining warriors weren't that powerful to begin with, because breaking down Kitella's plan, it's actually quite straightforward if you consider like this. If they were so powerful enough to hold their own, why would they have to resort to tricks like this? So, Granted, it gave Universe 7 a lot of problems, but that was the one flaw in his plan. The abilities were great, but the warriors themselves not so much. And they relied too much on their abilities, as opposed to actually beating another warrior. So yeah, overall, great episode. Hopefully I see more intuitive ideas and something that sparks my interest in later episodes. So take care, guys, and as always, thanks for watching.